Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I just wanted to come and talk about Belle Collective. There was not a lot that happened this episode. I mean, the last 5 minutes. We definitely gonna get into that, and also Mr. Joshi. Is that her name, Joshi? Um, my good sister Joshi. We're gonna have to have a conversation. Matter of fact, I need to have a conversation with Joshi, Latrice, and that man who she called her husband. But we're gonna get into that in a little bit. Let's just start off with something light. Because I feel like once we get to Latrice, it's gonna get a little heavy. Heavy, 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 heavy. It's gonna get a little heavy. Okay. Shout out to Dream Girls. Um You know what? I want to be messy. I'm gonna be messy. Yeah, I feel like being messy right now. That's what I feel like doing. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair that Marie Monroe, shout out to Erica De Niro TV, Marie Monroe, girl, I don't think that it's fair that Marie get to step onto the scene with a gangster lean, walk into this new season, and ain't nobody address the nose in the room. Girl. What that man said down to the Real Housewives of Atlanta last week is nobody's going to address the elephant in the room. Ain't nobody going to address the nose in the room, girl. Marie come back looking like a whole new woman. Now, we know that Marie has a nose job. And Latrice mentioned it last at the reunion, but Marie really didn't. I just feel like, girl, why is he acting like Marie ain't came back with a whole new face? Yeah! I guess Marie has a hard on for Latrice. I want her to release fast. Girl, I do not want to and I feel like the beef between Latrice and Marie is like one sided. I don't think Latrice is a bit more thinking about Marie, but Marie got Latrice on her brain. Marie got a lot going on. You know, she has her, I think her facilities, and then I think she is into hair and fashion and makeup. And I'm not mad at the girls for chasing their dreams if it is in fact their dreams. But I think that sometimes what happens is, and I'm not saying that Marie has did not have dreams of being this woman in fashion and hair and makeup, right? Because last year she told us that she has her own, I think she has her own hairline. But the way that Marie was introduced to us, I don't know. I just think sometimes people get so busy just trying to chase the money and see what's gonna stick that that's all they really care about. Because, like, first season, I don't remember Marie ever mentioning she was into fashion, hair, makeup. I don't remember. She probably did. I just don't remember. I do remember her last year talking about she had a hairline, right? But I don't remember the first season. So I'm like, girl, where's all of a sudden you into fashion and hair, and when that was never your zhuzh? But, maybe she's always been into it and she was just focused on I think her mental health facilities. I forgot what type of business she was in. Maybe so. I don't know. Anyways, Tambra and Demond. Tambra. Girl, come here. Come here for a second. I'm confusion. I'm confusion on how you avoided confrontation last year. You avoided conversation last year when it came up and Demond's name was mentioned. Last year, girl, as far as I was concerned, Demond was my man, my man, my man. Now all of a sudden, girl, 2 months into you living with this man, you talking about, yeah, I need to get my panties and pack up and go get me a condo or an apartment. This ain't gonna work. You know, it's like a man cave. No, it's called your own living space. Okay? Like me, I'm not traditional for the girls who may not know, okay? You know, I might talk a lot of stuff, but I don't really believe that you know, have to be married to have kids or, you know, um, I just don't do the whole traditional stuff like that. There are some things I kind of can get with, but a lot of stuff I just don't roll with. But with, or, you know, no sex before marriage. But with Tambra, Tambra always came across to me as someone who wanted to do it the right way, right? Like that was her thing. I want to, you know, be engaged. And then I want to get married. And then I want to move in. And then I want to have kids. And then it started to look like she started going in the opposite direction, right? And so now she's switched up what she knows she really wants in her heart. Not to sit here and say that I agree with it or you agree with it, it don't matter. It's what Tambra said she wanted, right? So Tambra said she wanted this, but then you started going the opposite direction. Now you done moved in with this man and you're like, yeah, I need a ring. She mentioned something about a ring in her confessional, which if that was the case, then you knew you didn't have a ring before you moved in. You don't have to have sex every day just because you live together. Girl, no, you don't have to have sex every day that you live together. But girl, I would think that with this relationship being rekindled, that, you know, it would be a little hot and steamy. I could see if you was with the man, but also, girl, that's what you get, girl. You've been with that man for 16 years, girl. Y'all probably done did every position. I don't know, girl. Tambra need to sit down and figure out what she want to do. Cause Tambra, girl, you got a lot going on. You're moving in, you're packing up your panties to move in with a man. Then you like, girl, I need my own space. When quiet as kept, you knew you didn't want to move in with him in the first place. So I don't know what Tambra was trying to prove or who she was trying to prove something to. I don't know if she was trying to prove something to the girl last year who was basically making it seem as though something was going on with her and Demond. I can't remember the storyline. Or she was trying to in competition with the viewers. I don't know. I don't know. But now you done packed up your stuff moving with this man and you like, girl, what I get myself into? I really don't want to be here. And quiet as it's kept, she probably don't even want to be with Demond. Girl, they walked in. Girl, Demond walked into that house and gave that lady a church hug, and she gave him one right on back. You know those sideways hugs, like, "Hey, how you doing?" Girl. SoGucci and JJ, girl. Girl, I said, what is going on? So Gucci got off work, and JJ was in the kitchen cooking or something. He was making dinner for So Gucci, so he could spend some time with his wife. Are they married? Oh, they boyfriend and girlfriend. I can't. I'm just gonna say married, girl. I don't know. He wanted to spend time with his wife. Um, she walk in the house. Da 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 da. I'm home from work. Oh, what you doing in this kitchen? What you cooking? I'm like, girl, what is? And he like, doing it. You better go put on some sexy, girl. God darn it. I was like, girl, what is the tea? It was given very much. We rehearsed our lines, and I'm trying to win an Oscar. And girl, it's not giving Oscar. It's not giving NAACP. It's not giving BET Award. It's not giving Middle School Talent Show. It's giving, girl, this is a mess. So I really couldn't get into SoGucci and JJ because I was like, girl, what are they doing? I remember JJ mentioning that his mother, it's a possibility that his mother may move in, and so Gucci doesn't seem to be on board with that. Um, Glenn and Letitia. This is the thing with reality TV, because I was going to talk about this on my Real Housewives of Atlanta review. The truth is, in real life, people tend to go through things for a long period of time. Sometimes, I feel like a lot of the times. So, what I'm trying to say is, if you have a marriage or if you're in a relationship, right, and you decide to end the relationship, everything is not going to be peachy keen in like 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. There are people out there to this day who have 15, 16, 17, 18, 30-year-old children and still can't stand a baby daddy 30 years later, still can't stand a baby mama 30 years later, right? So while I am acknowledging that I know that in real life, people just don't end a 20-year marriage and girl kind of go their own way, girl, after 1 year or even 2 years, I am tired of hearing about Latisha and Glenn. Latisha, you ain't going nowhere. Latisha, you doing this for TV. Glenn, to me, is showing his true colors. Glenn gaslights Latisha. He plays dumb, stupid, and ignorant. He places the blame on Latisha. Latisha sit there, child, you silly. Is he the only one that's silly? The only thing I'm going to give Latisha is, even though, girl, you a fool for still sleeping with that nigga, at least you got enough common sense to use a condom. Now, I give her that. Everybody have a slip up or two, right? Even when you call yourself breaking up with somebody, you might still go back. You might not want to sleep with nobody new, so you just go back to the old thing. At least you had enough common sense to put a condom on. So shout out to Latisha for that. He talking about he feels some type of way about sleeping with his wife wearing a condom. Girl, Glenn, this is what I be saying. Like, what am I watching on TV? Am I watching the wrong thing? Because Glenn, girl, you were just, girl, taking a DNA test, a paternity test last year. So that means that you were out here raw dogging another bitch. So why would your wife not want to use a condom with you? I mean, why would she want to stay? But she stayed nonetheless. And then on top of that, girl, the real gag is this. Not only was Glenn out there cheating, girl, he swore up and now he wasn't going to cheat no more. And then after the reunion last year, they let it be known he went back to texting some girl or another girl. So now he back in the streets. And he want Latisha to believe, or us to believe, that it was just communication. I don't trust nobody who possibly had a baby. So now I'm supposed to just believe now it's just communication. I'm sick of Glendale and I'm sick of Tisha, honestly. And Tisha, one of my favorite ones on the show. But it's like, girl, I don't feel like going down this road with Latisha and Glenn again. Because it's really just repetitive of last season. Like, I'm over it. Either you're going to stay and shut up and keep using condoms or possibly catch an STD or STI, or either you're going to leave. All this going back and forth, and Glenn acting like he don't know why y'all in the situation y'all in. You trying to take you say you want structure for our son, but you trying to take him, you trying to move him out. We said we was committed to each other. Glenn, you're committed to these streets, okay? And we wouldn't have to have a conversation about our son having structure in his life if you kept your dirty ass dick in your drawers. Somewhere along the line, you forgot about commitment. That's what Glenn told Latisha. But see, this is what happens in situations like these. When you have a man like Glendale, who can go out here ripping around the streets, right? Girl, stick his cock in somebody else's vagina, possibly have a baby, and you still stick around, still sleep with them, still take them back time and time again. Now all of a sudden it's, oh, what about the commitment from you? Even though I do also agree to this, I will say this much. On some real shit, y'all better stop sleeping with these men, but also at the same time talking about it's over. Y'all know these niggas is one girl screw away. It all falls down. It all falls down. Girl. So Tisha, you can keep playing with that man if you want to. Glendale already popping up on you. You already talking about you need a you happy you could be possibly moving to a gated community because you don't want nobody popping up, but you still giving him pussy though. Girl, make up your mind, girl. Oh, Akeisha. Is that her name? Akeisha. She ain't really got a lot going on. Well, it's the first episode, but her and Willie. Willie is back in New York. Akeisha is in Jackson. Listen, we can say what we want to say about Akeisha, but Miss Thing, it sounds like she putting her money where her mouth is. And it sounds like, to me, she really is about to get Fair Street popping. That's what it sounds like to me. She's basically in Jackson by herself with the kids. Listen, this is what I think is going on. I think that because it was, Akeisha was supposed to be on Real Housewives of New Jersey. Akeisha want to be on reality TV. She's from Jackson or got family in Jackson. I don't know, child. So, in order for Akeisha to be on the show, she got to stay in Jackson. Willie don't want to be in Jackson. I don't blame him. No, ain't nothing wrong with Jackson. Shout out to everybody in Jackson. Hey, Scotty, if you watch this, ain't nothing wrong with Jackson. Ain't nothing wrong with Jackson. I don't want no smoke from nobody. But Willie work in New York. Akeisha want to be on the show. So she want to be on the show, she got to be in Jackson. And then, I don't know their financial situation, but, as long, listen, if Akeisha ain't stressed out with them kids Monday through Friday, if Akeisha got family or can hire a babysitter, and then Willie come home every, Friday, then I don't see nothing wrong with it, girl. Like I said, girl, if they got the money to do it and rack up, they got, mileage points and all that, girl, it's not a big deal to me. Because I also think that, girl, if Akeisha is no longer on the show, she's just going to get herself and move back to New York. You know what I'm saying? And when they're not filming, she's probably in New York. Quiet as this kept. When it's time to film, she packs her bags and she comes back to Jackson. Girl, let's just go ahead and get into Latrice, Clifford, and Joshy. So, I know everybody doesn't watch the show, so let me just give you a quick rundown. Joshy is, I'm assuming, gay. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing, but Joshy is gay by LGBTQI. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing, but Joshy is friends with Latrice and also an employee of Latrice's. He has now moved in with Latrice because remember they had that water situation going on in Jackson. Well, Latrice lives on the outside of Jackson. So she still had clean water. So her friend and also her employee, I think he's a store manager, moved with Latrice and Clifford. Okay? Now, at first, if you first start watching the episode, it does look like Joshy is a little too comfortable. right? And he says things that he probably shouldn't say. Because this is the thing. Joshy, and I'm calling him Joshy because they put Joshy. Am I Joshy? Joshi? I don't know. His name might be Joshi. You know the girls that change their name up in a heartbeat. As far as I'm concerned, his name is Joshua. I'm gonna call him Josh because I don't know what the boy name is. So Josh, he is friends with Latrice. Josh is not friends with Clifford. So when Josh is saying the things that he says about Clifford, basically, when Josh feels a certain way about Clifford, it's because he knows he's privy to information that we're not privy to, and he's privy to information that Latrice has told him. I think there were too many people online who were focused on Josh and what he said, and not the reason why the fuck he felt the way he felt, and the reason why he was saying what the fuck he was saying. Because if you watch the last 5 minutes, that's why Josh feels the way that he feels about Clifford and Latrice's marriage. Right? Because of the stuff that Latrice tells Cliff. And as far as I'm concerned, Latrice uses Josh to do her dirty work. Kind of like Tisha from Love and Marriage Huntsville uses Wanda to do her dirty work when it has to do with Marceau. So Josh is giving all the energy to Cliff and saying all the things about Latrice and her marriage that Latrice is scared to say to Cliff and scared to say about her marriage. Josh just not pulling this shit out of thin air. He's very correct in what he said. And he's very correct in what he thinks. Because he knows the tea. And Latrice knows that he knows the tea. Now this is where Josh fucked up. And Latrice fucked up. Josh messed up when he got too comfortable around Cliff, right? Part of the reason why Cliff popped up at that club and felt like they were talking about him is because Josh pretty much let it be known, we talk about you. In that first scene, right? He let it be known. So now Cliff knows that Latrice talks about their marriage to Josh. Josh should have kept his mouth closed. I have been in a situation before where I have told someone, a couple of people, if you want to be honest about it, that they should exit their marriage. I have, and I did, and I don't regret it. It wasn't just some simple, it just wasn't no simple shit. We just gonna leave it at that. So I stand by what I said, because I was privy to information. You see how that goes? And I knew what the tea was. But I also knew enough not to go around their partners and also talk shit. Because I'm aware that you're going to choose your husband over me. And that's what Latrice is going to do. If Latrice and Cliff stay together, Cliff is going to make Latrice choose between him and Josh. And she's going to choose Cliff and his abusive ass, okay? So where Josh messed up is that he got too comfortable. And he should have kept his motherfucking mouth closed. And whatever conversations that he was having with Latrice should have just been conversations that remained between him and Latrice. He shouldn't have brought none of that in front of Clifford. He shouldn't have. Because now what happened is why part of that happened. Because now Cliff knows that Latrice talks about him. So when he came up there at the restaurant or the bar talking about, y'all gonna be talking about me, he know y'all talking about him now. Because of the way that Joshy was in the kitchen. Now that does not excuse his behavior at all, but I'm just saying he was right about them talking about him. That's all I'm saying about that part. Latrice did not think that part with Cliff, whatever his name is, was going to be shown. Cliff called his wife a bitch. Cliff called his wife a motherfucker. Cliff grabbed his wife by her arm. He said that you did not have permission from me. So as far as I'm concerned, based off of what I've seen the last 5 minutes, Cliff over there beating Latrice's ass. So based off of that last 5 minutes of the episode, y'all can think what y'all want to think about Josh, right? But at the end of the day, Josh knows the situation that Latrice is in. And Josh may be okay with their friendship possibly coming to an end. But if Josh feels like, I'm going to say this because I know that nigga who you with ain't shit, then Josh say, I'm going to say it. And wherever the cards fall, or where the cards fall. Again, maybe he shouldn't have said nothing for the fact of, now it's... And another thing too, let me say this. He shouldn't have said nothing because now it's going to cause even more chaos between Cliff and Latrice. Josh gives me real young queen. So he's still learning, right? But for some of the mature girls out there, we know how this shit works. So even if your friend is in a situation, I'm just going to use me as an example. I have said what I have said, and maybe I'll say it 2 or 3 times, but I'm not going to lie. After I say it and I know, I'm done. Because you know what's going on over there. I know what's going on over there too. But there's no need for me to keep drilling in your head. You know what's going on. And you know what needs to be done. There's no point of us continuing to have this conversation. When we've had this conversation, you've heard my thoughts, baby, in detail 2 or 3 times. But I also know not to come around your family or your husband and be like, so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. Because what's going to happen is when I leave, oh, baby, it's about to be some windmilling. So, the whole situation with Josh, Latrice, and Cliff, it's a mess. Cliff is a hot ass mess. I know they say it takes about 7 times for someone to leave an abusive relationship. The thing with TV is this. If you are on reality TV, you have a heads up for the girls and boys who are not, because you, unfortunately and fortunately, get to see your life play out on TV. And, the good thing is you get paid for it and you can, grow your business. The bad thing that if it's a bad situation, then it's not going to look too well. But you also get to see this shit play out on TV, and you might not think that it's bad, but once you see it on TV, you're like, oh, bitch, this is bad. So hopefully Latrice, watching that scene play out, she gets enough courage and enough sense to say, you know what, this ain't for me. And she leaves that nigga. Cliff ain't shit. Cliff ain't gonna never be shit. That weird ass daddy-daughter dynamic bullshit they got going on over in Jackson, Mississippi needs to go out the door. And that's another thing too. This is not victim blaming. Latrice needs to stop calling that man daddy. That's why he walking around here talking about bitch. And saying that you need to ask him permission to go somewhere. Y'all don't like for people who are single like Joshy to say stuff because Joshy and people like me are going to call it for what it is and tell you to get out that jive ass, fucked up, abusive ass relationship. And it's not true that all single people think that way because there are a lot of single people, by hook or by crook, they are going to be an advocate for marriage no matter what. Married people usually tend to be an advocate for marriages being like staying together no matter what. You rarely see people who, in my opinion, will tell a one married couple to tell another married couple, even though they know the relationship is probably in the trash, to girl, pull the cord on the relationship. The only person I probably really saw say that was probably Candy from Real Housewives of Atlanta. Remember when she was like, Kenya, girl, just let it go. Right? But at that point, it's because, girl, Candy probably all some information we don't know because we saw what we saw. But Candy also know what she done heard from Kenya behind the scenes. Not to get on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Anyways, child, that's all I really had to say. Like I said, girl, Joshy, whatever his name is, he fucked up by bringing up information and talking about information that he and Latrice talk about in private in front of Cliff. However, girl, y'all can't get too wrapped up on what Joshy being messy because him being messy is what might save Latrice's life. Josh being messy and bringing up shit in front of the camera and letting it be known, yeah, bitch, you not happy? That nigga over here whooping your ass? And I know information because you tell me. And I'm going to let this nigga know that he ain't shit either. He ugly, he can't dress, he can't talk. That light skin shit went out in the 70s. Girl, Josh was eating his ass up a little bit. He can't talk, he can't dress, he bad built. Every time he talk, you gotta put closed caption on the TV screen. So shout out to Josh. It's something bigger y'all need to be looking at, and it's not just Josh coming across as some messy queen on TV. Anyways, I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.